everyone, welcome back to another video. I told you I was going to be uploading more, and thankfully I actually am. So today we're going to be doing my PlayStation 4 collection. I'm going to be doing updated collection videos for pretty much every console because the last time I did collection videos was about 3 years ago. So things have definitely changed since the last time, and I think it would be cool to go through the games that I have. This is just a snapshot of this collection right now because obviously PS4 games are still coming out and I'm still buying them. But this is for as of January 2018. These are the PS4 games that I own, and I'll be giving my thoughts on each one. So let's get started. First off, we've got Call of Duty Black Ops 3. This is the Steelbook case that came with the Juggernaut edition, which you can actually see right there. There's the fridge. This is a great game. I love this game. There's a lot of content in this game for $60. Even if you don't buy the DLC, you've got free run multiplayer zombies campaign, which is one of the only co-op campaigns in Call of Duty history. I honestly think this is the best Call of Duty on current gen consoles. Actually, it's the only good Call of Duty on current gen consoles, to be honest. But yeah, so that's Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Next up, we've got Call of Duty Ghosts. Not that great. It can be fun for laughs, but I don't think as a serious game it's that great. This is the Steelbook edition that came with the hardened edition of the game. Cool cover, but not my favorite game. Then we've got Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. It's not the greatest. I'm not going to spend time talking about all these Call of Duty games. Finally, last one, we've got Call of Duty World War II. This is probably the second best one on current gen. It's okay. The Zombies mode is definitely not as good as Treyarch's. The multiplayer is fun. I don't know. It's you know, there's so many COD games now that if it's not Treyarch, I don't put that much time into it just because on those Treyarch years I get so burnt out with COD because I'm so into zombies. Next up, we've got the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy. As a kid, I loved Crash Bandicoot, and these games are awesome, especially remade completely in HD. And they're exactly like the original games. There's no microtransactions added. There's nothing added, really, or taken away. It's just the original Crash experience, which is awesome. This game is great. Would highly recommend it. And I wish Activision would make more games like this because this is actually very solid, and coming from them, that's rare. Next up, we've got Fallout 4. This game is good. I think it suffers from what a lot of open world games suffer from, which is a lot of backtracking and a lot of meaningless side quests to keep you busy, which are basically just fetch quests. Fallout 3, the main storyline in the game didn't focus so much on fetch quests. I feel like this game focuses a lot more on them, and the story really seems rehashed from Fallout 3. It's a very similar premise, except spoilers for this game. Not in-depth spoilers, I didn't beat it, but in Fallout 3, you're looking for your son, or sorry, in Fallout 3, you're looking for your dad. In this game, you're looking for your son. So, I mean, it's really the same storyline, and one of the big driving forces of Fallout 3 for me was the storyline. This just feels really too similar to Fallout 3, I feel like. The graphics are definitely a lot better. The engine is improved. But I'm, not the biggest fan of this, and as someone who loved Fallout 3, I was a little bit disappointed with this game. There's still tons of content. It's a well-made game. Just kind of burnt out on the whole Fallout thing, I guess. Next up, we've got Far Cry 4. This is a good game. Like I said, not the biggest fan of open world games, but this one did it well. I would say the story was pretty fun. Yeah, it's a good game. Next up, we've got FIFA 14. I don't know why all these discs are like shaking around in here. I guess they weren't put back right, but good game. Not my favorite FIFA game, but still good. Next up, we've got FIFA 15. Yeah, 15. I was like looking at the cover. I'm like, is that 16? This game is okay. Definitely better than 14. I mean, these games should improve every year, but really, a lot of the times they just feel the same. This one's good though. I mainly bought this because my online on FIFA 14 wasn't working, so this fixed that issue. FIFA 16. This one is actually quite different from FIFA 15. They added a lot of stuff in this. I don't have any of the newer FIFAs. I want to get 18 because I want to try the career mode that they added in FIFA 17, which I don't have. And also the World Cups this year, so they're going to be doing World Cup DLC if it's anything like FIFA 14. So that'll be cool. Yeah, good game. Really fun for getting trophies. Would recommend if you're into that or if you like soccer at all. Then we've got GTA 5. This is a great game. Online is really fun. The single player is fun, although the story, not the biggest fan of. But free roaming and just like doing random stuff is definitely a lot of fun. So I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for this. This is still sealed. I have The Last of Us Remastered. I got it for $5 sealed. So I picked it up, but I haven't actually played it yet. From what I've heard, this game is great, so I'll have to give it a try at some point. Don't really have an opinion for now, though. Next up, we've got Mega Man Legacy Collection. This is Mega Man 1 through 6. These games are really, really hard. Like, I've heard this, never really played that much Mega Man, but I really like the characters, so I thought I'd give this a shot. It was on sale on Black Friday. Insanely difficult. It's one of those games where you have to like memorize what's coming up, and that's the way that you beat the game. I'm not saying it's not fun. It's just very hard and very time consuming. Takes a lot of time to master these games. But definitely a lot of fun, especially if you like Mega Man. Next up, we've got Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4. This is a good game. The story's a bit cutscene heavy, especially if you've already seen Naruto Shippuden. It's basically just the stuff from the anime or the manga if you read that. But the cutscenes are animated well. The whole game, plays well. So I would recommend it if you're a fan of Naruto. There's a version now that has the Road to Boruto DLC included in it as well, and it's on sale quite frequently. So if you can find that, I would recommend that as well. There's also the Ninja Storm Trilogy, which includes the first 3 games. I don't have that because I've already played them, and the only one I really would want to replay is not in that pack, which is Ninja Storm Generations. But this one is a solid game. Would recommend you get it if you're a fan of Naruto or fighting games in general. Next up, we've got Overcooked. This game is great. Couch co-op is not the biggest thing nowadays, especially on PS4, but this game is a great couch co-op game. Tons of fun. It's very stressful in the best way possible. If you haven't seen gameplay of this, look it up or give it a try. It's a really good game. It's also available on Switch and PC, I know that. I don't know if it's on Xbox, I would assume so, but would highly recommend. Next up, we've got Persona 5. This game is phenomenal. Great art style, great music, great atmosphere in general. It's a really fun game. The only thing that I have to say is the dungeons drag on a bit long. I've only played through the first dungeon, but I've seen gameplay of later on in the game, and it's a great game and definitely deserving of the praise it gets, but I think that they need to tone it down a bit with the length of the dungeons. A bit long. Took me longer, I think, to beat Kamoshida's palace than it did to get to that point in the story. Which, when you want the story to unfold and see what's going on in the story, is a bit of a slow pace, and kind of like makes you not want to play, because I'm not the biggest RPG person, so I'm not playing this game for the RPG part. I was playing it for the story, and I feel like when you're constantly having to fight these personas, it gets a little bit tedious. So yeah. Next up, we've got the PlayStation VR demo disc. This comes with the PSVR. It demos a bunch of the different games. It's not really a game, so I can't give an opinion on it, but it's also a free download on PSN if you have a PSVR and somehow did not get this, so give it a download if you have a PSVR. Then we've got PSVR Worlds. This one is a bit of a, like, it's kind of like the Wii Sports of PSVR, or like the Kinect Adventures of Kinect. It's like showing you what the console can do in like a few mini games, but not like anything that's a full experience. Definitely some cool stuff in here to show people when they want to know more about VR. don't know if I'd recommend you spend the $40 that I think this game is on the game if it didn't come with your thing, because this came with my PSVR. Yeah, so if it didn't come with your PSVR, I wouldn't say to spend money on it, but it is fun if you have it packed in. Then we've got Resident Evil 7 Biohazard Gold Edition. This is the edition with all the DLC. I just got this for Christmas last month. I've played a little of it, and it seems like a really well-made game, and the story is intensely intriguing. Kind of freaked me out, though, to be honest. I don't want to spoil anything, but there are some limbs that get lost, and I'm not the biggest fan of that, so I'll probably play it again in the future. My friends want to try the VR feature because apparently the entire game is playable in VR, which I think is cool, and I think more games should do, especially horror games. But yeah, it's a well-made game from what I can tell. I played about an hour and a half of it, so so far seems well-made. I have 2 copies of this. We got Rock Band 4. I have 2 copies because when Rivals came out, buying a separate guitar with Rivals was cheaper than buying a guitar by itself, so I needed a second guitar, and I was like, I'll just buy the game again. This game is a lot of fun. Also a huge money sink, because you have to pay a ton of money for the instruments alone when you buy the game in the bundle. Well, maybe not anymore. I don't know. I bought it when it came out, so I think I've seen it on sale recently with all of the instruments for like $50. But when I bought it, it was not $50, and I've spent more money than I would ever want to disclose on DLC songs for this game. So if you're really into music, be warned, because you'll probably find songs you like in the shop, and then you won't have any money left. That's basically the moral of Rock Band 4, and that's why I've made myself not buy any more DLC for that game. Next up, we've got Rocket League Collector's Edition. I have this game digitally. I got it when it was free on PS Plus. But this game is actually phenomenal. One of the best games, I think, on the PS4, if not the best game on the PS4. And I wanted the DLC, and instead of buying the DLC, you know, like just for my PS Plus copy, I figured, why not get the collector's edition that comes with all of the DLC, and I get a physical copy of the game. This is a phenomenal game. I usually do not buy physical copies of games that I got for free digitally, but this game is definitely worth it. I wanted to support the developers on this, especially because they haven't done anything scummy, like releasing a season pass. All of the DLC is completely optional, and arenas are given to everybody for free. The DLC is basically only cosmetic, so I think it's a really cool game. It does things right that other developers are doing wrong, and yeah, I really enjoy this game. Lots of fun. Next up, we've got Star Wars Battlefront. Basically the exact opposite of what I just said about Rocket League. This is exactly how to do a game wrong. Litter it with microtransactions, make a game that barely has any content and charge full price for it. Not the biggest fan of this game. Graphically, looks amazing. Gameplay-wise, it plays a lot like the Battlefield games, which is no surprise because it's made by DICE and I think runs on the same engine. But as a game, I do not think it's something that's worth the money that they're asking for it. And I feel, well, I know that a lot of people feel the same way about Battlefront 2. I mean, it's not the worst game, and right now it's only like $10 for this used. So at that price, I would say if you really like Star Wars and you really like Battlefield, it could be a good pickup. For $60, definitely not. This is the second to last game. We've got the Uncharted Collection. I still haven't played these. I just got this very recently. I've heard a lot about these games. Last gen I was more of a 360 person, so I had a PS3, didn't play it much, and I never played the Uncharted games, so I want to get into these and eventually play Uncharted 4. Hopefully over spring break or the summer or whenever I have some spare time, I will be able to play these, and by the next time I make a collection video, I will have an opinion on these games. And then finally, we've got Until Dawn Rush of Blood. This is a spin-off to Until Dawn, which I have digitally. This is a VR game. It's basically an on-rail shooter. it's a lot of fun. A lot of things pop out at you all the time, so if you don't like jump scares, it might not be the game for you. But I think it's a pretty fun game. I got it when I got my PSVR. It was one of the launch titles for it, I think, or if not, it came out very close after launch. I mean, it's a fun game. It's an on-rail shooter in VR, so I mean, you're sitting in a minecart and you shoot things. That's basically all there is to it, but it's definitely a lot of fun. Reminds me of like early Wii games, except in VR. So, yeah. So that was my entire PlayStation 4 collection. Leave a comment down below telling me if you agreed or you didn't agree, or what games you think I should get for the PS4 that I don't already have. Yeah, but thanks for watching. If you liked the video, hit that like button. And yeah, I will be back soon with other collections, so stay tuned to the channel for that, and I'll see you guys in the next video.